Happy Rosh Chodesh Elul. It is the last month before we have the Jewish New Year. And I'm very big in Jewish astrology and the zodiac. And Elul is a very special month to me because sometimes we put a lot of focus on beginnings. You know, like we're so excited when it comes to a new year, whether it's the Jewish New Year or it's the Gregorian New Year. Like we have all these resolutions and we have all these big aspirations and lofty goals that we want to pursue. But the truth is, it's easy to start something. It's very hard to end something. And usually we lose whatever that spark was that gave us that motivation, that gave us that mindset that we can accomplish whatever we want. But in reality, it's much harder to tie up loose ends. And that's what the month of Elul represents. It's the end of the vacation, the end of the summer months, the end of the heat, and we kind of have to come back to whatever it is we've been running away from, and we've got to face it. And it takes a lot of strength and discipline to do that. And you can look at it on a personal level, you can look at it on a professional level, but of course we can also look at this on a spiritual level because we're coming up to the Jewish high holidays. And if you want to be properly ready for the Jewish high holidays, it's all about how you end, not how you begin. So if you think about it, let's say you finish praying, right? In Judaism, when we close a holy book, we kiss it. When we finish learning a masechta, or you complete a learning, you throw a party. We try to show that how you end something is actually more powerful. Even when we eat, right? We pray before we eat, but then we sing and we have the grace after meals afterwards. Once you're satiated, once you have what you wanted, do you still have appreciation? Are you still thankful? Because ending allows for new beginnings too. So this energy right now that everyone should try and tap into is, how do I end this year right? How do I not run away? Because if I can end the year on a high, I can begin the year on an even higher plane. And the Jewish calendar is kind of like a cycle that kind of goes upwards. We're always trying to reach new heights. And that's what this month is all about. Now, sometimes it's hard to finish things. We don't always know how to finish something that we started. Or you had this idea about doing something and then things shifted and you kind of lost your track. So one of the mottos of this month is, the king is in the field. And the idea is that this is the month where God, the king, leaves the palace, comes to the field to greet everybody and say, I'm here to help you. I know it's hard to face things and to come back, but I am here with you and I'm going to help you get through this. Now, if you're not Jewish and you're listening to this, or you don't believe in religion or spirituality, take it on the personal sense. Sometimes we all struggle with things, but it's about believing in yourself. If I have something I have tried so hard to fix, and I just want it, it's so much easier just to run away and say, oh, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to have to face it. The idea that, let's say, I'm going to face it. I'm going to say, Marika, I'm going to come down there and hold your hand, and I'm going to make sure that we get through this. You can take all of religion out of this and just view it as a personal exercise on how to be there for yourself. And if you can't be there for yourself, this is the month to ask for help. This is the month where you tell somebody, hey, I've really been struggling with this and I'm not really sure how to complete it. Can you help me? And the month Elul stands for Ani Ladodi V'Dodi Li. I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. It's a line from Song of Songs, Shir HaShirim, written by King Solomon. Because in order for you sometimes to do something, we need to believe there's somebody else there with us. So I'm not just for me, but somebody else is for me too. Whether that's yourself, whether that's a significant other, whether that's a close friend. Elul is a month of bonding. It's a month of reconnecting. It's a month of relationships. That's the energy of this month. It's this idea of ultimate renewal, and it's so special. Now, Elul is also an earth month, which means that it's a month that's, again, supposed to be a grounding month. You're supposed to feel like you can settle in this month, that you can make something. The sense of the month is action, that you have this desire to fix and to complete and to return, but you've got to build that energy. It's not the beginning energy, it's the ending energy. And that's why you need to kind of have that extra push. It's like you're at the finish line and you just need to get that last bit of adrenaline in to complete whatever it is. The letter associated with this month is Yud, which is the 10th letter of the Jewish alphabet. It's the only letter that floats, and it looks like a dot because Yud represents spirituality. It's not really like a big letter. It's a tiny little dot that's floating because it's not really in this world. It's a little bit above this world, but it's the spark. And Elul is the month where you really have to realize that to have action and to have progress and to have all those things, spirituality goes hand in hand. You have to feel that there's a bigger sense of purpose. You have to feel that there's something bigger out there. That's how you accomplish tying up those loose ends. That's how you get there. I always like to say, language is a barrier to spirituality or to religion, right? We say the word God so loosely, and every religion has its own interpretation. But truly, it's just a way to try to express something that we don't fully understand, but that we have this like deep sense that there's something more than us, that we're not just a body, that we're not just here. There's something outside of us that we can't see. And religion is a way to get there, and language is how we describe that. But I really believe that that's the closest thing we can get to truth, is that we can't prove it, but we also can't describe it. And that's why everyone has to connect in their own way. These are all ways to live a happier life, live a more connected spiritual life. And so in order to have that really strong action, you need spirituality on some form, whatever that is for the individual. The tribe that is associated with this month is Gad. Gad was one of the tribes that protected Israel outside of its borders. It's also the tribe that represents goodness. It's the tribe that was one of the maidservants of Jacob. God's mother was Zilpah. And I look at it as, sometimes things are not so easy. Sometimes we struggle, but at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason. And God was definitely a tribe that, had to look out for the Jewish people, didn't have one of the main matriarchs as his mother. It wasn't Leah, it wasn't Rachel, but still felt a sense of purpose, still had meaning, still wanted to make things better. And I think that's kind of all of us, that sometimes we get off track, but we have to realize it happens for a reason, and we have to find our way back. The body part of the month is the left hand, which represents the subconscious mind. I think that a lot of times we don't always feel so present, but the month of Elul, again, is about reconnecting. It's coming back. There's something in our subconscious that we've not been able to face or see, but this is the month that we're able to be like, oh no, I've got to get back on track. I've got to pull the subconscious into the conscious. The Parshio and the parts of the Torah that we read in Elul are all about tshuva. It's some of the most beautiful haftorot, which is from the Navi that we read. It's about forgiveness. But you have to be excited about the journey in order to get to forgiveness. Elul is loving the journey, saying, I know it took me longer than expected, but I'm going to finish this because the journey is sometimes more important than the destination. That's this month. You have to realize that everything happens for a reason. We don't know how long we're here on this earth for. We don't know what our purpose is. We don't know what tomorrow will be, but we still have to show up. You cannot run away. And if you have that mindset that you just want to try your best and you want to face all your challenges and you want to just try and find meaning. That not only will you accomplish most likely what you've been avoiding and finish what you started, but then you're going to be able to open up a new chapter, which is the new year. You're going to be able to start over again. And then you're going to have such forgiveness and such closeness and such a high that you're going to be able to do things that you thought you couldn't do. And that's the beauty of this month. I think it is so important to honor one's journey, honor completion, honor the fact that we don't give up, that you don't lose hope, that you stay grounded, you stay focused, you're able to ask for help, you're able to connect, and you're always open to want to have a new adventure, but realize new adventures aren't as exciting or as powerful or as meaningful if you haven't closed up the old adventures. So as we close this book on this year, I want to wish everyone a really powerful Rosh Chodesh Elul. Take the time, the next 30 days to Rosh Hashanah, 40 days to Yom Kippur, or just 40 days in your life, because that's what it takes to complete. 40 days is around the time where it takes to build new habits. Take it day by day. Don't make these big goals and these big resolutions. Start small with small habits and just show up. And realize that if you are not your own beloved, if you don't trust yourself, if you don't connect to yourself, then you cannot take that next step. So always, always, always believe in yourself and ask for help if you need it, because the king is in the field. Happy Elul.